Hi, my name is Patrick Reagan. Welcome to the Operating Systems Windows, where we go in depth of the Windows 10 and 11, including what is Windows 10 and 11, the features of Windows 10 and 11, and how to install Windows 10 and 11. Part 4, Upgrading to Windows 10, discusses the various ways you can upgrade to Windows 10 and will demonstrate how to upgrade to Windows 10 from a Windows ISO file. For those who are going to take the A+ exam, there are practice questions toward the end of the video. An in-place upgrade allows you to go from an older operating system to a newer one while keeping your settings, programs, and data intact. This usually means you run an upgrade program and perform the upgrade while keeping all settings, programs, and data. A computer refresh involves exporting user data and settings, then wiping the device before installing a fresh OS, reinstalling applications, and restoring the user's data and settings. There are several methods that can be used to upgrade Windows 7 or 8.1 to Windows 10. You can download Windows 10 Update via Windows Update, or you can use the Windows 10 Update Assistant. You can install Windows 10 using the Windows 10 Media Creation tool. You can download a Windows 10 ISO disk image and install from the ISO file. Lastly, you can download Windows 10 Optional Update Offline Installer from Microsoft's Update Catalog. Corporations can also update Windows using Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager or other similar tools. Remember, you cannot upgrade directly from Windows 8.0 to Windows 10. To upgrade Windows 10, expect 1 to 7 hours, longer if you have a slow network speed. Before you upgrade, you should take some safety steps. First, you should verify that all applications are compatible with the new version of Windows. You should verify that all applications are compatible with the new version of Windows. In case something goes wrong, you should also ensure that you have a backup of Windows, the applications, and data before you upgrade. Also keep in mind that you may need to install service packs and security packs, reinstall applications, and update drivers and applications before or after upgrading Windows. For the requirements for Windows 10, first you'll need a 32-bit or 64-bit 1 GHz processor or faster. It is recommended to have a 64-bit 4-core processor or better. Second, you need to have 1 GB of RAM for 32-bit or 2 GB of RAM for 64-bit. It is recommended to have a minimum of 8 GB of memory. Next, you'll need 16 GB of hard drive space for 32-bit or 20 GB for 64-bit. It is recommended to have 128 GB of free disk space or larger. You also need DirectX 9 graphics device with WDDM 1.0 or higher and an 800 by 600 display. If you have an ISO file, you can double-click the ISO file in Windows 7 or 8.1, which will mount the ISO file as a pretend CD drive. You can also connect a bootable USB drive that contains the Windows 10 installation media and install from the USB drive. To upgrade using an ISO or other installation media, you open the drive and double-click the Setup program. When the installation program starts, if connected to the internet, it will check if any updates are available. You'll need to select the version of Windows you are installing. It will make sure you have enough disk space. You also have the options to keep your personal files or not, such as your desktop and documents folders. You can then kick back for the upgrade to occur. This step will take a few minutes. The machine will reboot a couple of times. Windows 10 will attempt to update Windows, which may take a bit of time. Updates will only occur if there is a connection to the internet. Similar to a fresh installation, you would then perform post-installation steps including specifying the license key, install updates, reinstall or upgrade applications, and configure Windows and applications. Question: when upgrading from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10, what type of installation or upgrade would you perform that would preserve applications, user profiles, and documents? Answer: in-place upgrade. An in-place upgrade allows you to go from an older operating system to a newer one while keeping your settings, programs, and data intact. Question: when upgrading from Windows 8.0 to Windows 10, what type of installation or upgrade would you perform that would preserve applications, user profiles, and documents? Answer: refresh upgrade. Remember that you cannot upgrade directly from Windows 8.0 to Windows 10. Therefore, you'll need to upgrade from Windows 8.0 to Windows 8.1, then upgrade Windows 8.1 to Windows 10. However, you can also do a refresh upgrade, which involves exporting user data and settings, then wiping the device before installing a fresh OS, reinstalling applications, and restoring the user's data and settings. Question: how do you upgrade from Windows 8.0 to Windows 10? Answer: you need to upgrade Windows 8.0 to 8.1 and then upgrade Windows 8.1 to 10. For more information, visit these sites. In summary, you can upgrade Windows 7 or Windows 8.1 to Windows 10. An in-place upgrade allows you to go from an older operating system to a newer one while keeping your settings, programs, and data intact. A computer refresh involves exporting user data and settings, then wiping the device before installing a fresh OS, reinstalling applications, and restoring the user's data and settings. You should perform a full backup of Windows, applications, and data before the upgrade. Windows 10 requirements includes a 32-bit or 64-bit 1 GHz processor or faster, have 1 GB of RAM for 32-bit or 2 GB of RAM for 64-bit, and 16 gigabytes of hard drive space for 32-bit or 20 gigabytes for 64-bit. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Operating Systems, Windows, Part 5, Installing Windows 11. Thank you.